Hello and welcome back to another video, and today it is another episode of non-league news, #7, all the big stories from around non-league football, keeping you up to date with the scores and the tables and all the stuff going on. So make sure you leave a like on the video. We try and smash 40 likes on every one of these, so please smash a like, subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 4K, so make sure you subscribe, and yeah, let's get straight into that non-league news. So there hasn't really been too many big stories this week, but the biggest one for me is Billericay appointing their new manager of Brennan. So after 2 sackings, Billericay have now got a permanent manager, or should be permanent. Glenn Tamplin's picked up a good manager there. He's very young, I think only like 38, 36, and he's been at Hemel for 6 years. He got them promoted into the National League South and actually managed to get them to the playoffs last season, which is a great achievement for a club with Hemel Hempstead. So I think Billericay have got a good manager there, and if you compare the budgets between Hemel Hempstead and Billericay with Glenn Tamplin, it's uncomparable. So yeah, he's going to have a real good shout, and if he can get that squad and use his experience, then I think he's going to have a real shot for the title. He also brings in his right-hand man of Stuart Maynard, and considering Billericay are second with all the crazy stuff that's been going on, they're still second in the league with all these real problems and stuff. Dean Brennan has got a good chance of getting that team promoted. And Brennan got his first win at Ricky with a 4-1 win over Brennan in the FA Cup. So maybe he can have a bit of an FA Cup run with Ricky. So the next story is a bit more of a fun one. This comes from Slough Town. And unfortunately for them, their goalkeeper, Jake Turner, got a long-term injury for Slough. This means usually clubs have a backup keeper, but Slough don't tend to do that, even though they are a 6th tier club. They don't have a backup keeper. So they've been searching, they used their contacts, they tried to find a keeper, but they just couldn't find one for their game on Saturday, which was against Sholing in the FA Cup. So their assistant manager had to turn to Twitter in order to get a goalkeeper. So put it up on Twitter, it got 100 retweets and 200 likes, it's probably more now, to get a goalkeeper in. And they had a few messages of people that could play in goal for them. And this is just a crazy story about non-league, because they just couldn't have that time in order to get a loan deal in, which usually clubs do, but they couldn't get a loan deal in, and this is a fantastic story. Slough are still in the FA Cup. They will be in the draw on Monday. But they did draw 2-2 against Sholing, which they'll probably be hoping to win. I didn't find who was playing in goal. It looks like they did find somebody playing goal and not put their centre-back in there. So yeah, it'd be great to see maybe Wayne Shaw comes in for Slough, goes into Slough, he gets them to the FA Cup semi-final and eats a pie. That'd be brilliant. But yeah, this is a lovely story from Slough Town. So next up, Hereford have been busy. They don't have a new manager as of yet, but they have got a new head of football. Have got themselves Tim Harris, who's a very experienced manager, but I think this is his new role as a head of football. And after they sacked John Beadle, that is his first task, to bring in a manager that can sort out their poor form from the Bulls. They've been really struggling, and they're bottom of that form table in the National League North. Tim Harris left Tamworth in the summer, who got relegated from the National League North. He's also managed to sides like Gloucester City, Newport, and he's hoping to turn that club around. And the appointment of a head of football is often a little bit weird for non-league football. I'm not a great big fan on heads of football at clubs. But again, this is another one of those decisions that's been made to sort that goal out of trying to get to the EFL, which lots of these clubs seem to have. So yeah, Hereford have got themselves a new head of football. Next story is from Eastleigh, and this is from Graham Stack. Graham Stack has retired. This story may be a bit boring, but the real interesting thing for me is that Graham Stack was in a bit of like a punch-up with John Noble in Hartlepool, and it seems a little bit weird for him to retire 2 or 3 days after that. So apparently he went in the tunnel. He then supposedly Graham Stack headbutts John Noble. He played really well in the game, Graham Stack, but really weird. And the John Noble was supposedly shaken or unnerved by it, according to their manager Matthew Bates. So yeah, really weird story. He is now a goalkeeping coach at Watford, which is obviously a fantastic opportunity. So it doesn't look like he'll have any sort of ban for that. And it doesn't look like he'll have any punishment. But to be the goalkeeping coach at Watford, he is 36, so a little bit of a weird story. So Hartlepool fans are saying maybe he's just retired because of that incident. But yeah, good luck to Graham Stack. He's had a great career. And to have an opportunity like that at Watford is great. So the next story, it's not really a story, but it's something that I really need to talk about. It is Harrogate versus Leyton Orient, the big game of the weekend. It was huge, and Harrogate, who have been unbeaten and they were top of the league, lost 3-0 at home to Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient look absolutely fantastic. They are top of the league now. They went above Wrexham, who then lost 4-0 to Sutton, or 3-0. Who then just beat Ebbsfleet 4-1 before that, and Sutton lost 4-0 in the week. Craziness in the National League. All week, we can always expect that from the National League. But, wow, what a fantastic win for Leyton Orient. But Harrogate's unbeaten run is now over. I did maybe expect Harrogate to do a lot worse than what they're doing right now. And I think maybe luck didn't go their way on Saturday, and maybe they will start to fall away a little bit. But I said that about Macclesfield last year. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Harrogate do respond to this, and if they start to slip around the table, or Leyton Orient just going to go boss this league, because they're looking absolutely superb. So now we're going to keep you up to date with the results and the tables. Because it was the FA Cup, the National League South and the National League North, so I don't need to update you on the tables for those. But I will be showing you all the results and stuff. So yeah, and obviously showing the National League tables and the National League results and the shock of the game weeks and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go. So if we look at some of the results in the FA Cup, we've got Torquay absolutely smashing Leamington on telly. What a fantastic win for Torquay, and Gary Johnson has seemed to put that squad into good use. He's doing fantastically well with them. One of the shocks was Boston United losing 2-0 to Peterborough Sports. Boston at home as well, losing to Peterborough Sports, who are much lower down. So Peterborough Sports have got a massive win there, and be interesting to see who they get in that third qualifying round. Chelmsford had a disappointing loss to Worthing, who are lower down, and Chelmsford at home and doing okay in the National League South. That's a disappointing result for them. So yeah, the draw will be on Monday, which you'll be watching this. It'll be interesting to see who comes in, and then on the fourth round, then all the National League teams in, and then of course first round proper. And the real money for some of these non-league clubs who are much lower down in steps and tiers and stuff, to get into the third qualifying round is absolutely huge, as they have now upped the FA Cup money. So game of the day in the National League, it has to be Harrogate losing 3-0 to Leyton Orient. What a fantastic win that is for Leyton Orient, and puts them top of the league. Shock of the game week is Sutton 3, Wrexham 0. And I think this is a little bit of karma. I saw a lot of people messaging me saying Wrexham are going up. Wrexham, they're already up. They're done. It's already done. It's Wrexham are going up. And they've now just lost to Sutton 3-0. So, as I've said, don't get ahead of yourselves. Wrexham always seem to do this. They've got a young manager. They've got a young squad. Don't put so much pressure on them. Just say hope for playoffs and then see what their heads from there. Because people saying, oh yeah, we're going up, it's happening and stuff like that. It's just stupid saying that in September. And losing 3-0 to Sutton is really poor. Who did lose 4-0 to Boreham Wood on Tuesday night at Gander Green Lane. So yeah, really fantastic result for Sutton, and the topsy-turvy nature of non-league football there. If you look at the tables in the National League, things have changed, of course. At the top, we've got Leyton Orient currently topping it. Wrexham couldn't make use of that loss and continue in third. Salford continue to rise up the league, and they are winning games comfortably, what we expected with this fantastic budget and players they've brought in. Hartlepool, again, they're looking very decent with a great win over Halifax. Solihull Moors with an absolutely amazing win over Bromley, who are struggling, and we'll see that in the form table. Sutton, of course, back into those playoffs. Fylde having a little bit of dipsy form. Can't manage to get those wins there. And Gateshead get a fantastic 3-0 win against Chesterfield. We'll talk about them later. Look lower down, Barnet haven't been able to continue their winning run with a draw and a loss. Ebbsfleet, we are doing pretty poorly down there. Maidenhead back down to earth with a loss to Barrow, which is a must-needed win for Barrow, which puts them up a bit. Then look in the relegation zone, we've got Havant and Waterlooville course, got a good point against Ebbsfleet, managed to keep us out. Dagenham Redbridge must be really disappointed to concede a late goal against Eastleigh, but hopefully with a new investment it can push them up the league. Braintree couldn't build on their win against Gateshead and still down there. And of course, Dover are still struggling with only 6 points and 2 losses in a row. I think Chris Kinnear is in real trouble and it looks like he'll get sacked very soon. If we look at the form table, it doesn't look good reading for me. It is 2 points from our last 5 games, which is really poor. Whatever you can say, we've had a tough run and stuff like that. We've been poor over the 5 games, and I don't think we deserve to get more than 2 points. It looks like it was more of the same on Saturday. Obviously, we defended a little bit better, but aren't the quality of the team of Wrexham. But a little bit of positive is that we are playing Bromley on Tuesday, and they are the only team below us in that form table. They've only got 1 point and they've lost their last 4 games, and they conceded 5 goals to Solihull Moors. So if we can't beat Bromley in the form they are, then I don't know who we're going to beat. So yeah, and then if you look at Chesterfield, again, they're in the same situation as Ebbsfleet, but they haven't won a game in ages, and losing 3-0 to Gateshead is going to be a real kick in the teeth for the Spireites, and they really are struggling. Will it be time for Martin Allen to get sacked? I'm not too sure. And if you look at the top, we've got Leyton Orient. As I said, Salford are in fantastic form. And, of course, Harrogate still in fantastic form despite that loss. And I've got the usual faces up there. So, yeah, that is non-league news. Please leave a like and let's try and smash the 40 likes. We managed to hit it last week, so all the last 6 episodes. So, please smash a like, subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 4K. And I'll see you later. See you later.